Boob, and welcome to another episode of Nobody Watching. Our society is based on a series of unspoken agreements and guidelines that we adhere to in order to avoid all-out anarchy. It is the established pattern of social behaviors and our willingness to follow them that sets us apart from the animals. Let's take, for example, the practice of standing in line. Human beings spend about 6 months of their valuable lives standing in line. Apparently, the first noted description of waiting in line appeared as recently as 1837. In Thomas Carlyle's The French Revolution, Carlyle described a scene related to the post-war scarcity of bread as the bakers' shops having long strings of purchasers arranged in a tail so that the first come would be the first serve. So when you're standing in line at the checkout with growing irritation because all that sits between you and your purchasing a box of Fruit Loops is Mrs. Hazel McElhaney's incessant sifting through her cents-off coupons for the one of cat food that's about to expire, you can either curse or thank the French. Now, it's probable that the line was around much longer than that, but even if we say we've been lining up for things for a few thousand years, it would be a relatively new practice in human evolution. And it's one that we continue to tinker with as it carries with it its own levels of effectiveness and weight on the human psyche. When you develop a society where you have so many things that everyone wants, the only way to maintain order is civility in the line. It is a common enough practice, and we all basically understand how it works. If you want something and there are people ahead of you, you need to wait your turn in order to get it. That's the social contract. However, that doesn't mean we don't succumb to the politics of the line in nearly every instance. We know we have to participate in the line ritual and fulfill our end of the contract, but that doesn't mean we want to or that we will like it. We have trained ourselves to seek out the shortest, fastest moving line so that we can limit the inconvenience we feel that comes from the burden of the contract. There's also a bit of the survival of the fittest going on here, and a touch of elitism if we can get in and get out quicker than our fellow humans. Ha ha, look what I did, sucker. Alternatively, horror and woe sets in should you pick the wrong line. While you may have picked your line with great confidence, when it all suddenly grinds to a halt, you realize that you were tricked by some unseen, unnoted factor, stuck in a dead stop while the other lines you disregarded slip into high gear, processing people and transactions at breakneck speeds. As you languish in your line, now slow as molasses, you begin to look around to see if there is a good place to construct a makeshift line shelter, to bed down for the night, or if there is a way to get someone on the outside a message which tells them of your predicament and carries with it your last will and testament which you scrawled out on the back of an old grocery receipt. Yes, you could bully your way into the line or into a more favored position in the line, but then you bait the ire of others in the line who are playing their role as civilized persons, and they will turn on you in an aggressive and angry fashion, labeling you with any one of a number of tasty monikers: a ditcher, a cutter, a jumper, a crasher, a dick, an asshole, and more. How dare they? They must not realize how important you are or how critical it is that you get that package of Oreos home in short order. These line police can collectively and effectively exile you to the end of the line, which gives them the satisfaction that you will have been aptly punished for your actions and that maybe you will learn to be more considerate in the future. If not, may karma have mercy on your soul. Never to be outdone, there are multitudes of ways we try to beat the line, like getting up at the crack of dawn or camping out to beat everyone else just to be first. Personally, I don't have that kind of fortitude or that kind of time. And of course, one person's misery is another person's golden opportunity, and most people of means can now hire other people to wait in line for them. There are apps like inlineforyou.com to help you find a suitable representative, and some professional line standers have made some real money just standing around. For those of us who don't have that luxury, while I suppose they are perfectly within their rights to hire a line standing representative, it still feels like cheating. The person hiring out doesn't experience the life trauma, the hardships and joys, and exclusive communal connections that emerge among the line buddies of others that are dedicated to the task. Think for a moment, what was the best thing you ever waited in a ridiculously long line for, and was it worth it? Then think, would you pay someone else to carry your line burden for you? I suppose waiting in line is easier if you're with other like-minded people, like waiting to get into a concert or something. But it's harder with mixed groups, harder still if you don't know where the allegiances lay, and even harder if there's any kind of bad weather. Because you are dealing with other people, each line experience has the potential to make or break your day. In the best of all possible worlds, you get through it with little or no external interaction. Everyone is focused on their tasks and objectives. They do the thing and they move on. A bad line experience can stick with you for a lifetime. Lest we succumb to the raw savagery of lesser beings as you head to your next line, remember, don't be that person. Play by the rules, achieve your objective, and move on about your day. The rest of the world will say nothing about your efforts, but they will be quietly and completely appreciative for your not gumming up the process. Line on. And we'll see you next time.